away in her sleep and dream of paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes. When she was just a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy, the wheel breaks the butterfly. Every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, the stormy night, away she flies. A dream of paradise, paradise, paradise. Oh, dream of paradise, paradise, paradise. So light underneath those stormy skies, she said, oh, I know the sun was set to rise. This could be paradise, 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 could be paradise. Oh, this could be
Tell me what you really like. Baby, I can take my time. We don't ever have to fight. Just take it step by step. I can see it in your eyes, 'cause they never tell me lies. I can feel that body shake and the heat between your legs. You've been scared of love and what it did to
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
I was thinking about the band, I was thinking about the fans. We were underground, we Load of merch in that 12-passenger van. In a small club in Minnesota. And the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name and a star. Now look at where we at, still growing up. Still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older. Couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that blast first. Wish I made it to homecoming. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought and felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open and the stars above. Moment frozen, sneaking out and falling in love. Me, you, and that futon. We just begun. On the grass dreaming, figuring out who I was. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Never thought we'd get old. Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I've been missing what it's about. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past while missing out on now. We've come so far. I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars. I've been around. I felt some pain, I've seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. I wish somebody would've told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
Cold enough to chill my bones. It feels like I don't know you.
Hold me like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me like you are my brother. Love me like a mother. Will you be there? Weary, tell me, will you hold me? When wrong, will you scold me? When lost, will you find me? But they told me a man should be faithful and walk when not able and fight till the end, but I'm only human. our darkest hour, in my deepest despair, will you still care? Will you be there? In my trials and my tribulations, through our doubts and frustrations, in my violence, in my turbulence, through my fear and my confessions, in my anguish and my pain, through my joy and my sorrow, in the promise of another tomorrow. I'll never let you part, for you're always in my heart.
What up, chat? It's been a minute since I've been on the stream. It's been a minute since I've been active on the channel in general. I wanted to I kind of wanted to stream yesterday because that's when like the last because 2 weeks from yesterday was the last time like one of my videos actually did, shouldn't say numbers, but like people saw it. And that's when like my channel was like really active. The reaction video I did only did like 70 views or whatever, so like it wasn't really too active there. But my last like really decent video I did was 2 weeks ago from yesterday. But it's been nearly 2 weeks since I've uploaded in general. Turn on the fan a little bit here, 'cause it's a little bit hot. It's been 2 weeks since I've really been active on the channel. I needed 2 weeks to myself. I needed to go through the process. I needed to get myself in the right state of mind. Like, I knew that there were going to be moments where I wasn't going to be myself. I mean, am I still myself? No, not really. But, like, I'm at the point right now where, like, I can kind of get back in the flow of things, you know? Like, I'm at the point right now where I can push myself forward. And it's still going to take me a little bit to get to 100% myself. But, like I have been mentioning, my grandfather would not have wanted me to stop for him. You know what I mean? Like, he would have wanted me to continue on this journey, the path that I'm on. Because he loved watching my journey. He loved watching my videos. And, he'd want me to keep going so, like, he can watch his beef stew. So I definitely am going to have some skin peeled up here. There's a lot I got to update you guys on. Because even though I haven't been on the camera in 2 weeks, I have been doing work off the air. So there are some things that I have to catch you guys up on. This has been a really hard 2 weeks for me. This has been a really hard 2 weeks. And it hasn't gotten easier, honestly. It hasn't really gotten easier. And I know it's going to take a while for me to get back to the kind of person who I was. And I understand that. I understand that I have to go through the process. Of where I want to get to mentally. Like, I know, like, there's going to be days where I do have an outburst. There are going to be days where, like, I'm going to feel good. There are going to be days where, like, you know, it's crazy. Grieving is crazy. This has easily been the hardest loss I've ever had in my life. Like, in terms of being, like, close to somebody, like, of the magnitude that they've impacted on my life, this has topped it. But one of the things he always did when he was either feeling down or whatever is that he would fight through. He'd fight and just keep pushing. So, like, that's kind of like the mindset, like, I'm in right now. Like, I've taken the time that I felt like I needed to myself off the air, and now I'm at the point where it's time for me to just kind of take one out of his book and just keep pushing forward. And I wanted to do a live stream too for saying, like, I'm back, because I just didn't want a random video, like, posted on my channel out there. And I didn't want that to be like my, hey guys, I'm back. I wanted, like, more of, like, a catch-up stream of, like, what's been going on. And, kind of wanted to take a little bit to just kind of recap everything that's been going on. Kind of like a catch-up stream, if that makes sense. We had the services on Wednesday. And I'll tell you what, that was really tough to see August 6th on his box. That was really tough to see. I know there was some people who actually went on his obituary to read it from my Discord community, because somebody sent out the link of the obituary to the Discord community. So, like, if you definitely got the chance to read it, like, if you did read it, like, thank you for taking the time to read, like, the kind of person that he was and, like, the life that he lived. It does really mean a lot that you guys went to go, that it was sent in the Discord community. Like, it goes to show that, like, you guys are not just, like, my following or whatever. Like, you guys are more so like a family. And really, I honestly didn't even need to, like, make a statement. I mean, I had to make a statement, obviously, because if I just left you guys out of the loop that I was taking a break, you guys would have probably been like, where the hell is he gone? What the hell happened? If you guys followed me on Instagram, you guys probably could have. You guys definitely kind of had a feeling that some sort of break was coming. But like, if you just follow me on the Discord community, you would have no idea what happened. Sorry about your loss. I've gone through 4 of those. R.I.P. to all grandparents. Be grateful for all. Thank you. I appreciate that, at least. And I did see a comment earlier. Ben, hey Jesse, hope you're recovering all right. Losing a loved one hurts. I know the feeling, unfortunately, and it's very tough. But you're hanging in there. Gonna see Devers this weekend, and also the Celtics. Yeah, I got a lot to catch you guys up on. But appreciate the kind words. I do want to read you guys and show you guys a little bit of pictures from my grandfather that I posted on my Instagram. If you guys have not seen it, kind of show you like the kind of like how meaningful he was in my life. I have no idea, honestly, like when the nickname started between him and I. Like, that's the funny part. I have no idea when that begun. Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect the obituary to get put in the Discord community. I really didn't. I didn't expect somebody to put it in the Discord. I really didn't. That was really nice to see that it got sent on the Discord. It kind of made things easier too, because like everybody who follows me on Discord then knew like what was going on. It made my message that I put out on the Discord a lot easier. All right, let me switch it over real quick. So that was him. That was him next. If you guys ever wanted to know like what little Jesse used to look like, this is him right here. As you can tell, very involved in my childhood days, even in my high school days. Well, really, realistically, obviously as I gotten older, like I didn't go over there as much when I was like younger, when I was like very little like this. But like I still, you know, I paid my dues, go to see them or whatever. They would be my visit. They'd be my first stop after college classes before COVID, because I would go over there. That's where I would go for like lunch or whatever. So I would go see them, go back home, change, and then head off to work right after. That was my college days. Went out and did a lot of things together. My grandparents are the reason why I even had a Bogarts connection for when he was here. I mean, even still to this day, because like I do talk to Jair on and off, or whatever. So like they are the reasons why that even became a thing, because they brought me to Pawtucket Red Sox games, notably when Xander Bogaerts was there. Like that's when I went to Pawtucket a lot. So Bogaerts got called up to the majors. My parents used to bring me into Boston because they didn't really like the city that much. They didn't like driving into the city as much. So they would bring me to Pawtucket Red Sox games, and my parents would bring me to Boston for Red Sox games. And just tickets was so cheap for Pawtucket Red Sox games. You were able to get front row seats for $8 next to the Paw Sox dugout. It was so cheap to go to those games. So like I would be like the front row of Pawtucket Red Sox games and whatever. And, like, you go so much where, like, they start to notice you a little bit. And then when you get to Boston, they say, wait a minute, I know that face. So, like, they're the reasons why, like, that whole thing started. Those games. Let me mute this. So I figured, like, that on that birthday when my grandmother made me promise that I would go do something special for my birthday, I figured, like, the best way to do it was going to that Sox game that day. Again, that game was not in my cards. The next game that I was, like, realistically thinking about going to do was going to be Devers' return. Before any of this happened. That was the game that I was, like, looking to do. Last night's game. But then I went to the game that night on the 6th. And listen, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did go to that game. That's where my grandmother kind of wanted... She didn't hint that, but, like... Hang on one second, guys. Sorry, that was the Pops calling me. Okay. Alright. Let me get back to the chat here. My bad for that, guys. Where the hell was I? Oh yeah, I was glad I went to that game on the 6th. That was the best game of the year. Maybe in the entire sport. Like, throughout Major League Baseball, that might have been the best game of the season in all of Major League Baseball. So, I'm glad that I was there for that. And, like, that 13-inning game... It felt like I was like I had to be there, right? Like the way the game played out, it felt like I had to be there for like to give me like a temporary smile on my face, because like when the Sox that day, that's who he was. That's exactly who he was. Like one of the things that happens, like that I learned throughout this entire situation, like, before he did pass, was that you rally sometimes when you're, like, nearing the end. Like, that's something, like, we all learned, like, my family learned throughout this entire process. He rallied 3 different times. Like, he would not... Like, he was a fighter. He was trying to fight it. And, it was crazy, like, how it all went about. It was like he was holding on to, like, some specific reason. And the way, like, we all now look at it is he was holding off to make it a day where we don't cry about. It's a day where we celebrate. AKA my birthday. So now the way we all look at it is like, well, instead of us saying like, damn, this is going to be the day, this is the day that we're going to celebrate his life on the same day as the day my life began. Like, we're celebrating his life on the day that my life... Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, that's how we've been looking at it. He made it be a day where we don't be sad over. It's a day where we celebrate. That's where we were all kind of, like, sinking it in. And he made it to his birthday. He made it through his birthday, which that was great to see. It was great to see him on his birthday. It was funny because, I should say it was funny, but like, originally, I was planning to go to Morgan Wallen on August 1st, which was his birthday. That's the day he was born. I was originally going to go to that show. But then once everything was playing out, and we were just like, this does not look good. I'm going to kill him. Hold on 1 second. Awesome. His car just broke down. Great. Lovely. So this might be a little bit shorter than expected. It's your niece's birthday too on the 6th? That's crazy. But yeah, what I was saying is I was planning on going to the concert for Morgan Wallen on August 1st. That was like my original plan because I wanted to see him with Ella Langley. That was like the original plan that I wanted to do. But then as this was playing out and we were like, this don't look good, I made it a promise to myself that like I would go to his concert on the 31st instead of the 1st. So by the time I get home on the 1st, I'll have enough time to go see him on his actual birthday. And I got home, I think, at around like 6 o'clock on the 1st. So the plan was they were going to bring him home for his birthday and everything else. Because, like, it was, actually, I don't want to really go too far into detail there. But I'll just put it like this. My grandmother is an absolute warrior. She is a phenomenal human being. Like, one of a kind. And I don't know if does it say it in the obituary where, oh, it does, okay, yeah. It does say, because it says, it is with deep sadness that we announce the passing of Richard Kaiser, who passed away peacefully at home. So, she was like, no, he's coming home for his birthday. Like, she wanted to make sure, like, she wanted his last memories with his family around him, and she wanted his last birthday to be at home instead of someplace else like a hospital or whatever. And she took him in, took care of him. She took care of him for a long time, really. She kept him home. That's basically what I'm getting at. And he went exactly how everybody should want to go. So she gets a ton of credit, and Like, I mean, obviously, like, I loved my grandmother. Like, don't get me wrong, but, like, I view her a lot more now than I did before. Like, when this whole entire thing was going on, like, it's been going on for really, like, the last few years with him, but some of the things that she did for him was just incredible. I remember, though, at 4:30 in the morning, I saw the call. If you can bring them home, do it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's something that was my takeaway from this, is like, you do whatever you need to do for your loved one so they're not in a situation that you know they wouldn't want to be in. So, he loved his family, he loved his home. That's where he would have wanted to have been, and that's ultimately where he went. That's where he celebrated his last birthday. That's where he went, and like, couldn't have wanted it any other way. I think we knew we were gonna be hurt when he was gonna go. Like, we knew that, and that's where we knew we were gonna be hurt. We were preparing for the day. But did we have my birthday in my cards that he would go? No. We did not have that in our cards. And I think that was like the legit big shock for me, was the day that God decided for it to happen. Because I went from, I just don't want to see him in pain anymore. I don't want to see him suffering. This is awful what he's going through or whatever. Like, that's what I was praying for. And I think the night of the 5th, my prayers went to, let me see him at least one more time for my birthday. Because, like, he just kept fighting. He kept fighting, and we were like, this is unbelievable, like, what his body's putting up with. And it just seemed like he was trying to hold off until after the 2 birthdays. Like, that's what it looked like. But when I got the call at 4:30 in the morning, I was like, damn, wow. That hurt. I didn't think that would be the day. My drive to my grandparents was it was like 4:45 in the mornings when I hit the road. I forget what time it was, but like, I woke up. I was basically woke up right when it happened. And that car ride was tough. And I was just like, why today? Why, out of all days, today is the day that, like, you decide to take him? And, like, it was tough. It was tough at first. But then I just came to the realization, I came to the conclusion that, like, I think God made that day be the day that he took him, was a gift to me. I was praying for him to no longer suffer, no longer be in pain, and to be at peace. Because, like, that's what he's wanted for a while. He's wanted that. He wanted that for, like, a good year and a half now. And, the way I view it is that was the day where he was awarded no more pain, no more suffering, and he was awarded peace. Because it was really tough to see him in the condition that he was. And God granted me my wish, my birthday wish, on that day. So, that's the conclusion I really came to. And that's how I'm going to look at it. Even though, like, it does suck to see, like, oh my God. Like, even looking at this post and seeing it saying August 6th, I'm like, even right now, I'm like, fuck. I did not, like, that was crazy. You like the picture? Yeah, this was him and I. So there's this, like, bank in, like, the middle of the ocean, like, where I live. Where, like, the only way you can get out there is by boat. And, like, this was us on that bank. After fishing all day on his boat, and then we took a ride to the bank and went on the beach. So this was a cool day here. I want to say, like, I was, like, I had to have been, like, 8 years old there, maybe. Somewhere around there. But, like, that's how I looked at it. And I think I see that in my post here. You are no longer in pain, you are no longer suffering, and you are in heaven at peace. For my birthday, God blessed you with that. And I thank God for that. But at the same time, this is now the day where I lost you. I'm torn. Like, it hurts, for sure, that he's no longer gone. But it's also, like, kind of a sigh of relief that, like, he's no longer going through, like, what he did. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not... Like, you understand what I'm saying. I really have no regrets. Which, that's the nice thing. If I really wanted to, like, pinpoint something in specific, maybe I wish I saw him a little bit more the last couple of years, but, like, I feel like anybody would say that, though, right? I feel like anybody would say that. But for the most part, no, I would say, other than that, I don't really have much to regret, which is a very good thing. Like, I feel good about. And my last memory with him was going there the day after his birthday too. Like, that's when, like, we celebrated his birthday, really. Because he came home from the hospital on his birthday, and he didn't get home till, like, a little late. So, like, I didn't end up seeing him on the actual birthday, but, like, they celebrated it, like, the morning of the next day. So, like, it was technically still his birthday. So, like, I was glad I was home. I'm glad it worked out. It worked out that I went to the concert on the 31st. I'll put it like that. It worked out exactly how I would have wanted it to. And my last memories with him was celebrating his 83rd birthday at his home, where he still was able to, like, understand, like, what was going on, who was around him, and, like, he had his moments where, like, he was able to speak a little bit, and that was realistically, like, his last coherent day. Of him, like, understanding, like, what was going on. When I left him, I gave him a good hug, and I made sure my last words to him were, "I love you, beef stew." And I knew that's what I wanted my last words to be. Because when I saw him how he was that day, I was like, he don't. You know? Like, you kind of figured. And on that exact day, too, I went on a ride with my uncle on his boat, on his boat, which my uncle's boat was my grandfather's boat. So my grandfather ended up passing his boat along to my uncle. So I got to go on the boat that I used to spend so much time with my grandfather, which was very nice. He was a warrior. He was a battler. I did him dirty on that photo. That's my bad. But we spent a lot of time together. We spent a very lot of time together. This one was a nice photo of him and I. This was my uncle's wedding, I believe. I was 6, I believe, there. That was my graduation party that I had. This was us in Tampa, Florida. They brought... Oh my god! I forgot to mention that on my video too. Holy shit! They brought me to my first ever spring training game. They brought me to City of Palms Park in Florida. They brought me to... See, like, when you're younger, like, you remember some things you did, but, like, they sometimes come up on the fly. But this was in Florida the week when they brought me to City of Palms for a Red Sox spring training game. There were some great photos in here. Again, a lot of these I probably don't even remember, like, what the hell was going on. Because, like, again, look how tiny, like, come on. Like, do I remember what's going on here? Most likely, no. This was a Boston Celtics shirt that he was wearing, too. I was like, I have to get something there. This was after his quadruple bypass surgery. It's a great photo of him. Like, my grandmother still has that pillow with the heart from the surgery. So, like, that's something that she's keeping forever. But he always had my back. He always had my back. One of my memories that I actually do have with my grandfather was I think I was, oh my god, I was probably like 5, maybe even younger than that. Maybe I was like 4 years old. And this is a story that my grandmother loves to this day still, because, like, at the time they were horrified, but, like, now they look at it and they're like, that, now we can look back and laugh at it. So, one of my favorite movies is Back to the Future 3. And, you know the part where, Marty McFly is in the... What do they call it? The saloon, I believe? Yeah, they call it the saloon. So, Buford Tannen was counting to 10 or whatever for Marty McFly to go out there and duel him or whatever, and he didn't walk out. And basically they were telling him, like, you're a coward if you don't go out there or whatever. And Buford was calling him yellow. And Marty McFly looks and goes, he's an asshole! I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Tannen says. I don't care what anyone else says either. I would love that line. I would love that line. I don't know why, but like it always had me laughing. But it's a true statement though. Like I don't care what Tannen's like. I don't care what anyone says about me or whatever. Like I'm doing me, long if I know who I am and whatever that like, and the people around me know who I am. Like that's all that matters. Like it's really a true statement technically. But I love, for some reason, I would laugh, and I would love that. I loved that line. So there was one time where my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather were at a mall. I forget where it's at. I think it was in, like, Middleborough, if I'm not mistaken. And my mom and my grandma were like, hey, if you're good to us today, like, because we passed by... My favorite spot to go to, like, when I was little was Burger King, where, like, they had, like, the swing, like, they had the slides and whatever, like, that's where, like, I loved to go when I was a little kid. There was one in that mall, and my mom was like, hey, because they spotted it out, they're like, if you're good to us, we'll bring you to Burger King after we shop. I had no problems with them or whatever as they were shopping, like, I was behaving. But I don't know what it was. They changed their mind. They're like, actually, we're not gonna go to Burger King. We're gonna go someplace else. I think they said Friendly's, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. And obviously, as a kid, I was angry. I was pissed. I'm like, I was good. You promised me Burger King after shopping. If I was good, I was good. And now you're saying we're going someplace else. Like you lied to me. So. I ran off on them, like, to try and get the Burger King or whatever. They were chasing me. I was going through the slides, whatever. Like, they couldn't catch me. My grandfather ended up being the one that caught me. They brought me to the car, and I'm sitting in the back seat with my mother. And I said to everyone in the car, I think you're all a bunch of assholes. Like, you're an asshole. They were horrified. My grandfather almost drove off the road after hearing me say that. But the thing with my grandfather was, like, even to the very end, right? Even to the very end, like, when we were able to laugh about it, right? When we were able to laugh about it, like, when I got old enough to be like, okay, this was funny. Like, now looking back at it, it was funny. My grandfather said to my mother and my grandmother, I told you guys promised him Burger King and he wasn't gonna be very happy that you guys changed your mind on that. Like, he defended my actions because of the reasoning on how I felt in that situation. Like, he was like, you guys, he said to them, you know, you guys kind of had that coming. You promised the poor kid Burger King if he was nice. He was nice to you while you guys shopped, and you guys changed your mind. You guys basically lied to him. So like, honestly, his feelings were kind of valid. So, like, he had my back on that situation, which was hilarious. He's like, you know, he was kind of right. You guys promised the kid Burger King after you guys went shopping, and you guys didn't bring him the Burger King. So, like, that was so funny. Like he defended me, like, through thick and thin. Like, he viewed me as, like, couldn't do anything wrong, really. And, which is not true. We all make mistakes here and there. But that was hilarious. I knew you guys would like that story because, like, it's just so random. Honestly, that could be like a story time video. That could have been like a story time video. Like, that's how funny it is. Yeah, there's a Back to the Future. Go watch it. It was a continuation off of 2. There was a Back to the Future 2 and 3. I don't know if you didn't know that. 3 was the last one that they made. So I won't, if you've never seen 2 and 3, I won't spoil 2 and 3 for you. But at the end of Back to the Future 2, it was saying, like, to be continued, right? And then the beginning of Back to the Future 3 starts off where Back to the Future 2 ended. So, like, you have to kind of watch 2 and 3. You have to watch 2 first in order to understand 3 and how that happened. But, yeah, Back to the Future was a great trilogy. If you haven't watched 3, I feel like I spoiled a lot already for you. That's probably, honestly, my funniest memory I have of my grandfather. That, I think y'all a bunch of assholes. That might be my funniest memory I have with him, honestly. I'm sure there's plenty, but that one might be my favorite. McLovin, how we doing, my friend? But yeah, keep a long story short, he meant a lot. He meant a lot in my life. He meant a lot in a lot of people's lives. He always put his family first. And, loved staying active, loved going out and doing things. He put everybody ahead of himself first. Well, that's kind of how I was brought up to be by my family. Sometimes I wonder if it's a bad thing more than it is a good thing, but he was exactly the kind of person that, like, you would want somebody to be. And, like, I showed the trophy that I think I gave him this when I was, like, maybe 10. I don't know how long ago. I'd have to ask my grandmother when I gave him this, but I don't remember when I gave him this off the top of my head. But, like, for me, this stands. Like, I was debating on keeping it where he rests, but then I said to myself, that's going to get stolen or it's going to get ruined, one of the two. So, like, I'm keeping that with me. But, what I might do is I might do the, I might put, like, his card over the person on this trophy, I might do that. So, there were a lot of comments while I was going through this. And, there were a lot of people that DM'd me. There was a lot of people that said their things on Discord, comment section, on the Sox video, on that post on Instagram, and like, I do appreciate everybody giving me their condolences and their prayers from that tough time. Like, I do appreciate it. And I know he appreciated seeing the love too that I got. I mean, he saw it honestly because my mother legit made a YouTube channel for him to watch my journey on YouTube. Like, he made it a point to her to figure out YouTube for me. So he made it a point so like he could figure out YouTube so he could legit watch every single one of my videos. I don't know if he watched the live streams. I highly doubt it because it was so late. But he made it a point where like he could watch my journey on YouTube. And on TikTok. He watched my reels promoting my videos on there too. So like, obviously I needed to take time to myself for the grieving process and to get myself to a place where, like, I want to be, but, like, am I still myself? No. Like, there's still, like, some steps that I have to take in order for me to, like, feel myself again. And, like, honestly, I was kind of not feeling myself before, like, any of this happened too, but, like, that happens, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes that happens. And, but he'd want me to keep going. He'd want me to keep going, and, like, he one of the things he mentioned was, like, I don't want you guys crying on the day that I die. I want you guys to celebrate, and I want you guys to live how you normally do. Which, I'm sorry, but, like, the ask of, like, to live like you normally do comment was impossible. Like, that was impossible to do. Hey! That was impossible for any of us to do. But to celebrate, though, to celebrate his life, yeah, like that was something like I was definitely, you could definitely be able to do. Like, I mean, obviously you're gonna have your moments, right? Like, obviously you're gonna have your moments of grieving and, like, you're gonna have your emotional moments, but, like, he was preparing us for the moment. He was kind of preparing us. And again, like, you think you're prepared for when it does happen, but when it does happen, you're like, holy shit, it actually happened. And, like, that's when, like, reality sinks in. It's like, damn, maybe I wasn't really that ready for it. But love him dearly. And maybe he's here with me watching the stream right now too. Who knows? Because It is still early in the day. I wanted to do a somewhat early stream. I definitely did not want to be up late tonight because I have a big day tomorrow. Going into Boston. We're going into Boston tomorrow. I got some things planned, including a game for the Red Sox. Rafi Devers return. I've decided tomorrow's the game that I'm going to go to for the return. So, there'll be a video from the game Monday. I wanted to go last night, but I was just I was tired. I was drained from the week already. So I took yesterday to kind of get myself rejuvenated. I'm taking tonight to get myself a little rejuvenated too. So once I get a good rest tonight, then I'll be able to, I'll feel ready to go. But I definitely did want to come on stream and just be like, we're back, we're on the grind. I'm doing this for my grandfather because he'd want me to keep going. He would not want me to take a long break. And he'd want me to continue for you guys, so. Love you all. And I know, like, he saw the impact from you guys, too, throughout my journey when he was here. And I knew, and I know that, like, he knew that I had an audience. So, I do appreciate you guys, truthfully. And, even if I've messaged you, like, if you're in my circle, and, like, there were times where it felt like I was going after you or whatever, that was part of my grieving. That was just me going through the emotions in my grieving process, and, like, if I said some things the way I did that it came off the wrong way, then, like, I definitely do, like, apologize. But it's definitely a process. It's definitely a process to get myself better. And I do feel like I have gotten better in the last, I'd say, week or so. So, enough talk there. Yeah, as I said, folded it. Yeah, let's talk. So, what do you guys want me to talk about first? Do you want me to talk about how the Red Sox have been in a roller coaster as of recently? I have gone to 2 Patriots training camps. Within the last 2 weeks. The first one I went was on August 7th. That was the day I uploaded that video from the game. And then the second one I did was the joint practice with the Eagles on Thursday? Yeah, Thursday was the day I did the joint practice. May looks there. Drake May looks there. He could have looked. He looked. Okay, I'll put it like this. He looked good. On the one that I went to the day after my birthday. The joint practice, he could have definitely did better. He definitely struggled a little bit. The wide receivers have looked great. Actually, funny enough, Tommy DeVito has looked really good in training camp. I definitely think he's going to be the backup. Gonzo did not practice the second day of the joint practice, which now has me concerned. Like, is he holding off for a contract? I say the O-line has looked good. The defense has looked phenomenal. Like, the defense on the joint practice that I can at least remember, Marcus Jones looked phenomenal. Marcus Jones looked great. Patriots red zone has looked really good this training camp. Dobbs has looked good. Like, again, really the wide receivers for me has been like the big thing that I've noticed. That's been the big one I've noticed. Dobbs looks great. Demario Douglas looks great. Booty has looked awesome. Brown has looked awesome. Like, that wide receiving core is going to be scary. That wide receiving core is going to be scary. They're just more athletic. They're more fast. I would say they're tougher. They're tougher. There's more size. Like, Dobbs is tall. He's 6'2". I didn't know how tall Romeo Dobbs really was. Like, I thought he was like a 5'10" guy, really. Like, I did not know he was 6'2". I'm really excited to see what the wide receivers do for the Patriots this year. I mean, I do feel like Drake May does need to be a little bit better. But I mean, he's looked all right. He's looked all right. I mean, he had a couple of bad throws the other day. And I wish I was able to get recording of the joint practice for you guys. Like, I would have definitely made that a video. Because honestly, that was my first ever joint practice I did. And I like the joint practice a lot more than I do the preseason game. Like, you were definitely able to see the starters get a lot more reps than you would for a preseason game. Like, I don't even think May is playing today. From what I read, at least, I don't think May's playing. So, Joint practices are cool. Like, that's something, like, I would really, like, love to get, like, recorded for you guys. But, like, I will admit, I had VIP treatment over there. That's not even a lack of better term. It's legit called VIP. I had VIP over there for both days. Shout out Steph, hooking it up. And shout out to her friend, too, for hooking it up. Oh, by the way, I am now bleeding. That's why I had to put this on. But, anyways, I gotta... You know who I did I bumped into on the day that Steph and I did go, which was the Thursday after my birthday, because the joint practice, she unfortunately couldn't make it for work, but, like, she still gave me the VIP passes, so Steven and I took the VIP passes for the joint practice. But on the day after my birthday, that training camp, I bumped into Kayla Burton. Steph and I bumped into Kayla Burton. She was at the pro shop, and Steph bumped her elbow to me. I'm like, what? Ah, damn. And she's like, is that Kayla? I'm like, I look back. I'm like, I didn't know where she was talking. My head went like this. She went Kayla, and then she was right behind us. And I was like, we were both like, holy shit, hey! Steph knows Kayla. Kayla knows Steph. And Kayla actually remembered me from the time where Bree introduced me to her. And the crew over there. It's funny, she remembered me because of the chain that I wear to the Celtics games. She remembered me because of this. She was like, hey, yes, I do. I remember you. You wore the chain. You had the crazy chain on that Celtics game. I was like, yeah, that's me. And she was like, what's your name again? And I was like, Jesse. And she's like, I remember you from here on out now. I was like, cool. And, like, we chopped it up with her or whatever. We were talking about the Jaylen Brown trade. We talked about the Celtics. And, how weird the season's going to be. Like, she still thinks, like, the Celtics could be a good team, which honestly, like, I feel the same way too. It kind of leads to the next point that I'm going to talk about, which is the schedule for the Celtics. And it was a comment that Justin made. Yeah, after I said I folded by going to the JB return game to you on Instagram, I added that I hope you were doing well. So let me go to... I shouldn't have X'd out of that. Celtics, the NBA released their schedule while I was away. They released their schedule. And there were a couple of news that happened while I was gone. Not Celtics related, but like in the NBA. Including Klay Thompson going to Miami yesterday. That was crazy. And DeMar DeRozan going to Denver. There was another one, I think. Oh, Peyton Watson to Cleveland. That was a big one. But let's go take a look at the Celtics schedule real quick. So, right off the bat, what the fuck is the NBA thinking putting the first game of the season for the Celtics at 3 o'clock? What are they doing? What are they doing? Do they not know that people have to work on a Tuesday? Like, if this was a Sunday, different story. A Tuesday at 3? I might not be able to watch it. That one pissed me off. That pissed me off that the first game of the season, I might not even be able to watch. Like, that one hurts. Or I might not be able to watch, like, the first quarter. Or first half, whatever. I don't know. 3 o'clock start for the first game of the season is crazy. On a Tuesday is bizarre. Home openers against the New York Knicks. I'm kind of surprised that it's against the Knicks. I thought it would be against Philly. Like, that was, like, my prediction. I thought we were going to be facing Philly in the home opener. Like, I thought that was a foregone conclusion. Like, that was a given. But it's the Knicks, so, like, I know the pricing of that ticket will probably be high, but, like, it won't be anywhere near what it would be if it was Sixers, so, like, I guess I'll take it. Christmas Day is against Miami. I'm so hyped for that one. That one's going to be a phenomenal game, I feel like. The East is wide open, all right? I feel like, I forget whose podcast I watched, but I watched a podcast, and they said, like, if you told me the A seed could come out the East, I'd believe you. Like, truthfully, I think the East is going to be so competitive next year. It's going to be really interesting to see, like, how the Eastern Conference plays out. There's definitely a lot of factors that go into play. Because for me, here's how I look at it. The teams that I have better, like, for sure better than the Celtics are New York, Philly, maybe Miami after Klay Thompson. Maybe. But, like, even then, that's still kind of close. I feel like the Celtics' depth is probably better than Miami's. But, like, I still view the Celtics as a top 4 team, the top 5 team in the East. I feel like they're a top 5 team. I don't think Atlanta's really done anything this offseason. So, like, they don't really move the needle for me. I think, and they don't have Kuminga right now, so they're definitely right now worse than what they were last year. I think Detroit is going to take a step back. I mean, Jalen Duren's still a free agent, which is crazy to say. He's still a free agent. But they really needed the second option behind Cade Cunningham. I think I almost said. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. They needed a second option behind Cade Cunningham. Along with bringing Jalen Duren back. And they didn't do that. So I definitely do feel like they are going to take a step back this year. I feel like they're definitely... I feel like... And then last year, too, with how their playoffs went, they were... They went with the with the Magic in 7 games, right? And I think they got swept by Cleveland, whatever it was. It was 5, something like that. So I definitely feel like they've taken a step back. I think Cleveland may have gotten a little bit better. I think them getting Peyton Watson really does help them out. And I feel like Denver losing Peyton Watson is interesting. He's a far better player than Christian Braun. And they chose Braun over Watson. Watson is younger. 7 games at both. Oh, it was 7 against Cleveland too? I did not know that. But 7 games to Orlando is crazy. I do feel like Detroit's going to take a step back. But I do think Cleveland got better. I think I have the Celtics probably right now 5th or 4th seed. I think they are 5th or 4th seed right now. If Paul, but here's my thing though. Here is my thing. If Paul George can average 20 a game and kind of do what he did in the playoffs last year, like if he can do that on a consistent basis and stay healthy, why can't I think that the Celtics? Why would I not think that the Celtics could be a 3 seed or maybe even a 2? Listen, there's a lot that has to work in Philly. There's a lot that has to work out in Philadelphia. Like, I know their team is pretty damn good. I know that team is pretty damn good. Like, I don't need to say anything much about him. Like, you guys know, like, how good of a player he is. Edgecombe, young rising star. When Joel Embiid is healthy, he is an MVP caliber player. LeBron is aging like fine wine still. Maxey's another great player, like another superstar in this league. Who do they have as their 6th man? Oh my god, is he even on this list? Oh yeah, there he is. Anthony Simons as their 6th man is very nice. Dean Wade as their forward off the bench. And then their backup center is Adem Bona. I mean, that's a good 8. That's a good 8 guys on that team. What did Bona average last year? Nearly 5 points a game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 1.2 blocks. I mean, that's pretty damn good for a backup big. So, I feel like the ego of LeBron, JB, and maybe Joel has to work. I definitely feel like Maxey is not a selfish player. So I feel like he'll be fine. It's the other 3 that you have to think of like, oh, will it work? Because if you were asking me, Tyrese Maxey's the one option. I don't think you're expecting Joel Embiid to take a backseat. I think Joel Embiid is going to be the number 2 option on that team. I don't know if you're really going to expect LeBron to take a backseat. I mean, realistically, like if you look at the numbers, I guess, LeBron is probably the 4th option. Like if you look at the numbers like this, he's probably the 4th option. And JB's the 3 option. Will JB be okay being the 3rd option on the team? I don't know. I don't think he was okay with being the 2nd option on the Celtics at the end of it. Or 1B. I don't think he was. So, like, if you're asking JB to be the 3rd option, that could be a disaster. Who knows? Oh, they got KCP too on that team. So that's another good bench piece that they got on that team. But you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of question marks. And VJ Edgecombe, he needs to still develop. So, like, is he going to take a back seat? Is he going to take a back seat and hold off on his development? We don't know. But there's a lot that needs to play out with the Sixers. And I am so mad at the NBA for this reason too. One, they have it on Prime Video. For me, that's not going to really matter because I'll be in the building for JB's return game, so like that doesn't matter. But you have JB returning to Boston on the second night of a back-to-back for us, and you have it this late in the season. Really? Really? Yeah, stop bleeding, okay. That's crazy. That is BS. That pisses me the f off. I really haven't looked at the schedule other than those 3 games. So I can go over them right now and be like, hey, this is a game like I would probably circle. If you guys want me to do that. Let's see here. I honestly don't know if I would do Dallas, honestly. I'll ask you guys in the chat. What are some of the games you guys would like to see? What are some games you guys would like to see on this channel? Philly doesn't have a back-to-back before the Boston game. Honestly, that might be a good thing, though. I mean, not good for us because our legs will be gassed unless they use. Who do they play before that game? They play the Pacers. Fuck. So you kind of can't. You kind of can't rest. That blows. That blows. I mean, at that point, Tatum should be playing back-to-backs, right? Like, I would think he plays back-to-backs. Like, I think you have to, like, if you're the Celtics, you have to play your guys back-to-back that game. But I do think the Philly not having a back-to-back before that game is good, though, because you should have LeBron playing. You should have LeBron playing. You should have JB playing. That's not a situation like the Lakers game that we had last year on this channel. So they should be playing. Let's see, what are other games that like I'd be interested in going to see? I would be down to do one of these Wizards games. Probably the Wednesday one, honestly. The Wizards are going to be very interesting, too. Yeah, I think Washington Wizards might be a play, which is crazy to say. Anthony Davis, Trae Young, and AJ DeBanza. Yeah, I'm thinking either that Monday or the Wednesday for Washington. Washington's on my list. What's a game in November that I could do? So obviously the home opener in October. Let's see. Monday the 26th versus Chicago. Then Friday, October 30th versus Chicago here. Why not just make these two back-to-backs? Why not just do back-to-back against Chicago here and call it a day? Like, you get what I'm saying? It's zero set. It's stupid. It's dumb. Oh, no, never, okay, never mind, because Christmas Day is there. Fuck, that Portland one would have been cool if it wasn't next to Christmas. That Portland one would have been cool. Drew and Dame. That one would have been cool. Oh, I could have hit a Toronto game. Lakers will be cheap, so like that could be a possibility. See Luka with the Lakers. Lakers are gonna be cheaper than normal, which is nice to see. This is on my radar. This is on my radar. I have mentioned to Steph that is on my radar. She wants to do a game in Philly before that day too. But that one in specifically though, the one that I have on my cursor over, is on the radar. That is one I want to do. Again, I have some unfinished business in Philly, too. I still need to go to Angelo's Pizzeria. So, that's on the radar. So, if we do that, then that probably wipes us out probably here. I would be willing to do this. Yeah, that Toronto game, yeah, I think that's something we could definitely do. Especially where it's Kawhi Leonard. I mean, Kawhi is technically still on the Clippers, but you get what I'm saying. He's going to go to Toronto for that. He's going to go to Toronto. So, like, that one would be cool to do. So we got Toronto, that Philly. They're retiring KG's number here. And I do have some people in Minnesota that I could go to make this work. All technically I would have to pay for is my plane and the ticket. If I can do that, that could be a possibility. That could be possible. Which that'd be really cool. One o'clock Philly. Obviously, that's going to be on my radar. Wait a minute. Hold on. This might be the year I do a ton of road games. 12 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. Yo. I don't know if honestly they might beat us that game, so who the hell knows. San Antonio that late in the year too would be good. It's definitely better than what it was last year, I feel like. But they did miss some opportunities, though. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my food real fast. Alright, I'm definitely not going to have you guys watch me eat. So, what I'll do is this. I will take the camera off for a little bit. And what we can do is... we can move on quickly to Red Sox. And do a reaction video on the Sox. So that's what we'll do. Let me pull up a video. How did you guys feel about the fans booing Devers last night? I have to ask that question. I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask that. How do you guys feel on Rafael Devers getting booed last night? And it was definitely more boos than cheers.
Here comes Devers for the first time. The designated hitter, number 16, Rafael Devers. Here comes.
Okay. So here's my thoughts. Here's my thought on Devers getting booed at Fenway last night. Here's what I gotta say. I'm upset at Red Sox fans. I'm pretty disappointed in them. I get it. I get that he probably could have been better in the situation too. But booing him basically entails that the organization was right. And you are behind the organization in the situation. Which to me, sorry, I'm still more on the organization side as I am. Excuse me. I'm more on the side of Devers than I am for the organization. Do I think Devers could have handled it better still? Sure. I'll give you that. But he definitely wasn't a problem with the locker room. Because he went to go say hi and hug every single one of his former teammates before the game last night. So clearly the players liked him. And there's a video that like I do want to react to, basically explaining the situation. But we can't forget how the whole thing really started, though. It started because front office and Cora said publicly that they view Bregman as a Gold Glove caliber second baseman. And that the plan was that they're trying to get him to be a second baseman. Basically reassuring that Devers is the third baseman of the Boston Red Sox. They get Bregman, and then they go basically say to Devers, oh yeah, by the way, we brought Bregman in because we want him to play third base. You suck so bad on the field that we're going to move you over to DH. And that's basically how it came across. Which, honestly, would piss me off too, because if my job told me, if I saw something from my job, I'll just use this as a hypothetical. If I came to my job and I was like, hey, I need this day off. Or whatever, right? And they basically agreed to give me that day off. But then they say, oh, but then when the week comes when they're making the schedule and they put me on, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you guys told me that I had the day off. They would go, well, we need you for this week. I'm not going to take that kindly because, like, I put in my time off for my vacation time. Like, now I have to be at work when I was promised something, and they stripped it away. Or like if they screwed up your paycheck. You get what I'm saying. They basically promised him third base. Lied to him about their plans with Bregman. Then expected Devers to be okay with moving to DH. The communication was poor. When you give your time to a certain company or organization for so long, and like, you've done everything that they've asked you to do, you gave it 110% every single time you were working or whatever, you know, like, I don't want to sit here and say, like, you should expect special treatment, but, like, when you need something or whatever, you should definitely be taken care of, right? That's how you should, that's how it should work, at least. And that's what Devers did with the Sox. But they didn't have his back. So, they went with the new guy, and they gave the new guy everything he wanted instead of the one who put all the time and effort in. And honestly, was patient. 2023 and 2024 were bad years for the organization. You can go back to the years prior, too. But it got to the point between Devers and the organization where Devers didn't agree with what the organization was doing, like the path that they were going on. And like there was just it just didn't work between front office and Devers. Now, here's what I do have to say, however, though. He didn't quit on the team. He didn't quit on the guys. He still went out there and he performed at a high level. Like, he didn't pull a James Harden, pulled out like a fat suit, or like didn't try on the floor or whatever. Like, he didn't pull any of that crap. Before he got traded, he was one of the best designated hitters in the game of baseball. And the thing I was thinking about last night, too, when they went to Devers saying that we needed you to move to DH, and the timing when they made that statement was that Devers in the offseason probably worked his butt off to try and become a better third baseman. All offseason was preparing to be the third baseman next year. And then at spring training, you tell him he's going to DH, so basically he wasted all of his time working on his defense. Because if you remember that offseason, they were essentially telling Devers not to swing a bat. To get him healed up, sure, but still, my point's valid. So if he couldn't swing, the only thing he could realistically work on is his defense. So he probably felt some type of way that Like, really? I worked on my defense all offseason. Now you're telling me to put the glove away? You wasted my time. So, I get it. It was a sour ending. But the boos last night basically entailed that the fans agreed with the front office. And they basically threw away everything he did. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Like, when Johnny Damon got booed, that was different because he won a ring with the Sox, and then he hightailed it out of here to go to New York for the money. So, like, that's different to boo him. But, like, where he got traded and, like, basically disrespected out the door. Well, yes, he could have handled it better. There's just more to it than the way he acted, and, like, I think it was wrong for people to boo him. Honestly, parts of me is glad that I wasn't there last night, though, because I would have clapped for him. Because he should still be a Red Sox, too. If they communicated the offseason plan much better to Devers, he would still be in a Red Sox uniform today. Yes, Mike says he already got his money, this, that, so on and so forth. So, like, it doesn't make sense for him to be upset over a role or whatever. Can I make the argument to you that he's underpaid? Can I make the argument to you that he's underpaid? He's now back at an 800 OPS. 26 homers, 70 RBI this year. Batting average almost at 250. What does that say for doubles? 31 doubles this year. .475 slug, so like that's starting to creep up a little bit too. He'll end the year with over 100 RBIs. And he is going to end the year with over 30 homers again. So, I mean, what was his contract that he got? He got a 10-year, $313 million deal. I can 100% make the case for you that he's getting underpaid. I can 100% make that case. You got Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over here, who's at what, $550 million, something like that. He's got a 263 average, 7 home runs, 46 RBIs, 693 OPS. Let me look this up. MLB highest contracts. So we can do it like this, right? Yeah. Okay, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is at 500 on the nose. Mike Trout's at 426. Like, is he on the hit of Mike Trout? No, definitely not, but... The way I'll put... So, here's my argument. Here's my argument. If Vlad Jr. is getting $500 million, if he's getting $500 million, Devers should be right around there. Devers should be right around the $500 million mark. Should he get... Hold on. Let me pull up Baseball Reference real quick. Should he be getting more than Vlad Guerrero Jr.? That's my question to you people. Should he be making more money than Vlad Guerrero Jr.? (2019) he entered the league. So roughly the same time frame. Okay, he won a Gold Glove. He won a Gold Glove. Been in the All-Star Game more. Devers has had 700 more plate appearances. Ooh, that's tough. I think they should be right around... They should be right around the same for their contract. Like, if you want to say Devers should be at 490, sure, fine. or 485, sure, fine. But $313 million is a gross underpay for Devers. You're talking about maybe $180 million off is what his real value is. That's where you're talking roughly. You're talking roughly $180 million off his actual value. That's a lot of money. So it's like, yes, he got paid, but like, he technically got underpaid. So, I mean, he was the one that signed the contract. But, like, the organization could have been better to him. Because he technically did take a discount for him. That's the point I'm trying to get at. He technically took a discount for the Red Sox to stay in Boston. The organization could have treated him a lot better. That's all I'm saying. Because trust me, if he went to open waters, he would have gotten 450. At bare minimum, he would have gotten 450. At bare minimum, he would have gotten 450 million on the market if he went to free agency. So even if you want to say 450 million is what he's worth, that is a $140 million difference. That's a lot of freaking money. That's a lot of freaking money he left to stay with the Sox. So the way that they were treating him, like, no shit, he was pissed. No shit. So I was very upset that he got booed. I was very upset he got booed. I didn't think that was right. Because basically, that was the fans entitlement, like, they stand with the front office on the situation. And again, I get it. Like, I'm trying to understand it from both sides. Like, truthfully, like, yeah, as a leader, maybe he could have handled things better or whatever. But I don't know, man. Like, they really did him dirty in the end. They really did him dirty in the end. And they did him dirty for a 1-year rental, essentially. Alright, so let's react to this. Everybody was predicting that he was going to get booed. And honestly, for me, I was like, I can't be there to hear him get booed. Me personally, I was like, I can't hear him get booed. It's just not right. I would have clapped for him. That's what I would have did. He brought
Giants come in.
He brought a championship to the team. I would say for the majority, he did everything what the organization asked him to do. And he was willing to stay with the Red Sox to see the process through until they disrespected him in the end. So, I wouldn't have booed him. I would have clapped for him if I was there last night. I would have been one of the only ones clapping for him. And I feel like I've seen some quotes from players saying the same thing right now. They did a video tribute to him. Glad he got cheered after that. I mean, did he get cheered? I didn't hear many cheers there either. I mean, we can go back and watch it. I do have the link to the video tribute. But like, I didn't feel like there were cheers. I felt like it was kind of quiet. And you could hear like a small portion of the cheer, a small portion of cheers. I just felt like everybody didn't care for it. That's what I felt like watching it, but that's just me. And Devers did like the crying or whatever as he crossed home plate, whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of understood it.
Giants come into town. Red Sox have an off day today. First one they've had in a couple of weeks. They just played 16 games in 16 days. So I could sit here and I could talk to you about what happened in the game yesterday, and I could talk to you about the state of the Red Sox pitching staff and where they are at this stage. And, we did a breaking balls today, Jimmy Stewart. We posted that on our YouTube channel and did an assessment of the Red Sox position by position compared to where they were earlier in the year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But isn't the Devers topic so much more interesting? And a lot of people have started asking me about this in recent days, so I admit I'm kind of taking the cheese. So, Rafael Devers returns to Boston tomorrow as a member of the Giants. It's his first game back in Boston, since the trade that sent him to San Francisco last year. So, I have a bunch of questions about this for people. First of all, would you, what's the right word? Would you reverse the trade?
Yep.
If you could, would you go back?
I would. What? Come on. Yeah, I would. You kidding me? I would reverse it. If I could go back in time, honestly, realistically, if I could go back in time, I would go back in time and put Bregman at second base. That's what I would do. And then at that point, you'd have Bregman at second, you'd have Devers at third. And listen, if you did it that way, your offseason could have still played out the same way, really. Because you could have slotted Durbin at second still. You could have still gotten Wilson Contreras for first base. You could have still gotten Adley Rutschman in that trade in July to fill the catcher position. You still could have gotten the pitchers that you got. Like, you know what I mean? The offseason could have still, if you had Devers in this team, the offseason could have still kind of played the same way. It could have. Like, if you got Durbin as a second baseman because you didn't know how Meyer was going to turn out, it still could have technically played out the same way, the offseason, if you had Devers here. So in that case, yeah, I would go back and reverse the trade. Actually, now thinking about it, you wouldn't have gotten Caleb Durbin because that would have involved Kyle Harrison. You probably still could have. There definitely could have been a way you still got Caleb Durbin, though. There definitely is a way you could have still gotten Caleb Durbin. Because who else was in that trade? It was David Hamilton, one other guy, and Kyle Harrison. But two out of the three guys you already had before the Devers trade. So, like, I still think there was a way, there was a world where you could have gotten Caleb Durbin still, if Devers was here. So, in other words, yes, I would reverse the trade. If it was me, I would reverse it.
Questions about this for people? First of all, would you, what's the right word? Would you reverse the trade?
Yes.
If you could, would you go back and would you keep Devers?
Yep, I would.
So, or who won the trade is another way to say it. But more importantly, I am somewhat interested.
No, James Tibbs was a part of the Dustin May deal. James Tibbs was a part of the Dustin May deal. But you lost that trade big time. So, like,
by this because I think it's complex, and I'm
talking about the trade for
Durbin.
Durbin.
Some time thinking about it because I got a call the other day from a member of the Giants media who wanted to talk to me about the reception that Rafael Devers will get when he comes back to Fenway Park. So I started to wonder about this, and we had a, 10, 15-minute conversation. I gave him my thoughts, gave him my opinions, which I will share with you here momentarily. But the Section 10 guys, Carabas, Milliken, who's the other guy, Jimmy? I always forget him. I'm
Coley, Mick, and
Coley.
Steve Peralt.
Okay,
Steve
so
Peralt, yeah.
and I've met them all. I just can't keep them all straight. So in any case, on the podcast, and there's a snippet of it on social media right now from the Section 10 podcast.
Promotion clip.
Again, they started talking about Devers' return and the kind of response or reception is really the word I'm looking for. The kind of reception that Rafael
I knew he was going to get booed, but I didn't think it was
upon
right.
returning to Fenway Park.
I knew he was going to get booed.
I want you to think
but
about
I didn't
it.
feel. I felt like it wasn't
I would like our
right.
fans or listeners to think about it. I want your opinions on it. But before we even do that, I'm going to give you mine too. But before we even do that, I just want to play for you the 40, 45 seconds from the Section 10 podcast of these guys talking about it, because it'll just help refresh your memory a little bit and maybe, trigger a thought in your head as to how it all went down with Devers at the end and what it felt like. Here it is.
Since we're on the topic of Rafi, what do you think the reception's going to be?
Loud booze.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of booze.
You think they're going to boo him? Really?
Oh, yeah.
He won a championship.
I mean, they're booing Wilson, one of the best players in the game. Well, they're going to have the tribute up there, right? Right, they're going to have a Rafi tribute. Of course they are.
He's not going to give a
I bet he's going to, hide in the dugout while that's going on. He's like, I don't want to be within vision of this. Because I'm sure now he comes here and he's going to hate it. I don't think he's going to have a fun weekend at all. And we've had other situations where guys come back. And even Mookie obviously mixed feelings when he came back about the whole situation. It is a little sad with how much Rafael Devers mattered to this show, to this fan base, to that 18 team. So many fun moments. So for it to now be at this point where Friday's just going to be kind of a weird energy day at Fenway Park, it's kind of sad.
Okay, so they end with that it could be a weird energy kind of day and quote-unquote kind of sad. Do you feel the same way? And in fact, as I ask this question too, I wonder how many people, I guess I wonder about whether Rafael Devers really had any sort of relationship with the city of Boston at all. Because I think it's
now that probably not, right? That one probably not. He just didn't really. What's the word that I'm looking for? He didn't really. Get involved with the city that much. Like, I think one of the only times that I think I did a meet and greet was like his rookie year, whatever it was, the 2018 year. But he didn't really do much around Boston. Like, besides really play baseball, that was really it. I mean, I could be wrong, but he definitely didn't have the connection with Boston like Boston had the connection with Mookie. Like they had the connection with Xander. Like they had the connection with Chris Sale even. Like, sure, Raffy was homegrown, but like, I know like the guys that I just mentioned definitely had more of a factor in Boston than Devers did.
Complex story. So, but before I get to my particulars, Jimmy Stewart, if I ask you, what do you think the reception is going to be? What would you say?
Boos.
I would say 50-50 cheers and boos.
Okay, and then what would you do?
I would cheer the first at bat and then boo the rest of his at bats.
Okay.
You know what? That's acceptable. That's acceptable. Like, if that's the case, like, cool. If you gave him his respect on the first at bat and then you booed him afterwards, yep, no problem. No problem. I would have no problem with that. Cheer for him on his first at bat. Cheer for him in the video tribute. Then if you want to boo after that, yeah, cool. Fine. Jimmy Stewart, by the way, W-Mans. My favorite, probably my favorite on the show. I would understand that. Like how Jimmy Stewart just worded it, I would cheer for his first at bat, but then boo the rest. I would at least understand that. I would understand it. Because at least you're showing him the respect for what he did. And what he meant to the Red Sox. At least you're showing him that respect. Like, I remember when we went to Tom Brady's return game at Gillette Stadium. And they booed him the first time he walked out onto the field for his first drive. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I felt like when he first walked out on the field for his first drive as a Buccaneer against the Patriots, they should have cheered for him. Like, I know they cheered for him as he ran out the tunnel. I do know that. But they should have cheered for him when he first walked onto the field for his first drive of the game. I felt like that was a little bit disrespectful. Same last night with Devers.
And why do you think it's going to be 50-50? Give me the arguments for both.
Because there will be a section of the fan base that is like, oh my God, he hit that home run off of Chapman. He helped us win a World Series. And then the booers will be like, well, he didn't want to play first base. He didn't want to DH when Bregman got here. That'll be the split, is that he was selfish at the end, but he won a championship. Okay, so I think Devers is going to get more boos than cheers. And I'll tell you why. And again, I've had a little time to think about this because, as I said, I got a call from a member of the Giants media the other day who asked me about it. And we had a conversation, so I was able to think it out a little bit. And it's complicated with Devers. He was a good player here. I don't know if he was a great player here, but he was a good player here.
And the
So I go by elite, great, good. I would say he's in that great category.
way it ended will leave a sour taste in the mouths of many Red Sox followers. But I would tell you, if you're a Red Sox fan and you are choosing in this particular case who you're going to boo or cheer for, in other words, if you boo Devers, wouldn't you say, Jimmy, that you are effectively supporting the team for trading him?
Yep.
So, yes. But,
I mean,
again, it's complicated.
Okay, so it is complicated.
Yeah,
but
it
at the
is.
end of the day, you either want him or you don't. So if you cheer him, I presume that means that you never thought he should have been traded and that you should have kept him.
Yep.
But if you boo him, you are endorsing the team trading him because he was selfish and wouldn't be cooperative or flexible with regard to playing a new position. And remember, Rafael Devers basically gave them the finger twice. Okay, first, he refused to DH when they got Bregman.
Right.
So, or he said he wasn't. I say refused. Ultimately, he was forced to DH.
I played third.
But he didn't want to DH to make room for Bregman. And then, when Casas went down, he refused to play first base. So, John Henry flew out to Kansas City. Does everyone remember this? John Henry flew out to Kansas City with Sam Kennedy, Alex Cora. They sat down with Devers. They appealed to him about playing first base. In fact, I think we have a comment from Tom Werner somewhere in the system, Jimmy, where he even says that, well, just pick up a glove, play first base, something like that. All of that was going on. And they finally said, screw it, and they traded him to the Giants. And we all know that the Red Sox really just wanted to dump the contract.
Yep.
Yet, Devers was stubborn, uncooperative, selfish, put himself first.
But the but is, Tony, is that when Alex Bregman was first talked about publicly by Alex Cora, that was in December. There was never any conversation, and the talk in December was Bregman's going to come here and play second. Cora was gushing about how much he loved Bregman at second. There was never a conversation between Cora, Bloom, Sam Kennedy, any member of the Red Sox organization about to Devers, who had been playing third base for his entire career, about, hey, we might move you full-time to DH. We might move you to first base. If that conversation happens, Tony,
He would have never been traded.
I think it works out
Yep.
as far as him playing different positions with the team. Now, the contract thing is a whole nother story because they didn't want to sign that contract. But if that conversation happens in December, I don't think he refuses to play a different position.
Agreed.
Okay.
100% agree with that statement. If the conversation happened in December and they said, here's what our plan is, would you be okay with it? Laid down the groundworks and gave him the satisfaction of like, hey, we still view you as like a positive asset on this team. We have a chance to get Bregman, who's a superstar third baseman in this league. And we want him to play we would want him to play a third base if we get him. Would you be willing to move to DH if we end up signing Bregman? Or moving to first base if we sign Bregman? If they come out in the open and say it how it is, I think Devers has a different reaction to it. And I think that Devers would have been willing to do it, and he would still be here in this uniform today. I truly believe that. That's where I stand on it. But they essentially lied to him, not only to his face, but to the public eye, too. And that's where he got disrespected, which I really don't blame him, honestly.
Thing is a whole nother story because they didn't want to sign that contract. But if that conversation happens in December,
Agreed.
I don't think he refuses to play a different position.
Right.
Okay, you might be right.
I usually am.
Yeah,
he is.
Let me ask you another question. What is the signature moment of Rafael Devers' career in Boston?
It's probably
Yeah, it's definitely a
the
Chapman.
home run off of Chapman in
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium.
Yep. I was in the building for that one, too. I was at Yankee Stadium. That was a Red Sox destination package in 2017. That was actually my graduation gift. A graduation gift, I should say. That was a graduation gift. Did the 3-game set in Yankee Stadium. It was in August. It was actually, realistically, it was a graduation gift mixed with a birthday gift, because the trip happened in August. It was like middle August, I believe. Let me go take a look. Yeah, it was. It was August 11th, 12th, and 13th. That was the 3-game set. The homer happened August 13th. And I remember I was jumping up and down. I was like, holy shit! That was crushed! I was like, holy shit! I was like, you know what I mean? I was freaking out. And it was off like, that place went silent. That place went quiet. So yeah, that was definitely my favorite Devers moment. He had the inside the park homer too against Houston in the playoffs. That was unbelievable too.
Okay, that was a regular season game, right?
It was.
Did they win or lose?
They won 3-2.
I think they won it, but I'm not 100% sure.
So you don't remember?
Correct, I do not
Guys,
remember.
you should know. You should
I don't
remember.
either. I'm not criticizing you for it. I'm just telling you that everyone remembers the home run against Chapman. It was an opposite field home run. It was early in Devers' career. Chapman was throwing 100 miles an hour like he always has, and Devers took him out to left center field. But that was more of I would argue that was a moment where we said, ooh, this kid can hit. Fine.
And hit good pitching too, Tony. That's important.
What was the biggest hit of his career?
Creators, get a little extra with YouTube shopping.
Extra?
Yep, you only need 500 subs to start.
He probably is. So, biggest hit of his career? What, the 3-run homer against Houston in 2018?
I'm sure there's a walk-off double somewhere that I just can't remember.
Okay, so I can give you one because I remember one, and you just I'm not picking on you, Jimmy.
No, it's okay. Pick away.
No. If it came on, I'm just wondering how many fans. The reason I'm asking you is because I would ask fans the same thing. I remember one, and that is the final days of would have been the 2021 season. They made the playoffs that year.
This was against the Nationals then.
Yes.
Oh,
the final series of the weekend.
Yep.
They were down in the 6th or 7th inning of that game.
It got him in the wild card game, I believe.
And Devers hit a home run to put him ahead and got him into the playoffs. Okay, that I remember. I'll look up the particulars during the break, but I remember that hit. In that cut that we just played from the Section 10 guys, they said he won a World Series here. 2018. Devers, I think, was a rookie that year. Do you remember any hit that he had in the postseason? Because I don't. I'm not being a wise ass. I don't. And I would also ask, what connection or bond did he have with the city? Because I don't think he had that either.
He did have enough of one where Bruins
2018, he was really good. 2018, he batted .294. Had an OP. I mean, 734 is not great, but like the batting average was good. He had the home run against Houston. I mean, that was a big hit. But he did have a big hit in the World
were
Series.
heckling John Henry to pay him.
One?
And that might
Yeah, it was
have
game
been
one.
just in response to Xander Bogaerts has left, Mookie Betts has left. Now enough of one where Bruins fans were heckling John Henry to pay him, and that might have been just in response to Xander Bogaerts has left, Mookie Betts has left. Now you got to sign one of them, but that would be the closest thing, is that Bruins fans heckling the Red Sox owner to sign Devers, and then they did.
Right, so I think that had as much or more to do with the trading of Betts than it did with keeping Devers. I'm not sure fans here ever loved Devers, is what I'm getting at. They knew he could hit. And there were some things that worked against Devers in this area, and I'll say this quickly. We'll go to break, and then we'll get to your calls. First of all, Devers didn't speak English for a long time that he was here.
Right.
He was never the most outgoing, and he wasn't a bad guy. I think a lot of Devers being a bad guy was wrong, that he was some sort of poison in the clubhouse.
Yep.
I don't think that was true.
I agree.
I don't think he was a leader. I don't think he was key to the clubhouse chemistry, but I don't think he was a negative either. I think he was just kind of there. And he could hit. So if the Red Sox tried to make him a leader, and he wasn't, but none of the interviews that Devers did really resonate. For example, if you were to say Xander Bogaerts during his time here, Bogaerts spoke with the media frequently. He was a very public face of the Red Sox. In some ways, Mookie Betts was the same.
Yep.
That never really happened with Devers. There wasn't that kind of bond with Devers here. It just didn't happen.
Right.
So I'm not sure fans are that connected to him. It ended badly, and he looked as bad as the team did, I think, if not worse.
I don't know about worse.
I think he's going to get booed. But you all out there, you tell me.
So, Tony, just one thing. He did have a big postseason hit in 2018. He hit a 3-run homer off of Justin Verlander.
There you go.
To put the Red Sox up 4-0 at the time on Houston. They had a 1-0 lead off of a JD Martinez home run. But it was the 6th inning, 3-run homer off of Justin Verlander in a game that sent the Red Sox to the World Series.
So what game was it?
It would have been game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. And they were already up in the series 3-1?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I would argue not that big a hit. I didn't remember it. I mean, not that I remember everything, but again, so I'm just telling you, they didn't win a lot during his career here. They won at the beginning, but not because of him. That team was about J.D. Martinez and Mookie Betts and the outfield defense and Sale and Price. They were a wagon that year. He was a passenger on that team, and I'm not dumping on him. Devers is a good hitter, but I'm just trying to be real. Then in 19, they underachieved. 20, they traded Betts, COVID. 21, he had the big hit in the postseason, or the end of the regular season to put them in the postseason. But then they lost against, who the hell did they lose to? Houston in the LCS that year?
Yep.
I think they beat Tampa in the
But he was
division
really good
series
in the
after they
postseason
beat
that
the
year.
Yankees in the play-in
That year
game,
he was really
if I
good.
remember
5
that right.
home runs, 12 RBIs.
And then 22, 23, 24, 25 were all kind of disappointing years. Now he's gone. I think they have to do a video tribute, right? That's a given. Everybody gets one now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a given. So maybe we'll see some of the big hits then. But I don't know. I sense that the majority of you out there, I sense that you're going to boo him. Which, again, comes off to me as sort of an approval of the team trading him, and that was about dumping the contract. It gets very messy with Devers. Very, very messy very quickly.
You got booed. Okay, well, Justin, you know how you mentioned the he did the cry celebration, whatever. So this is the thumbnail from WCVB Channel 5. Look at the thumbnail. He's doing the same celebration. Clearly, he's in San Francisco here. So, like, that wasn't directed towards the Red Sox fans, at least. All right. Well, I guess I'll do it like this.
What do you think the crowd reaction will be like tonight?
Como lo dije anteriormente, no sé, nunca me han pasado por eso, no tengo ni duda de cómo van a recibir, si me van a boo o si me van a aplaudir, no tengo ningún tipo de experiencia.
Like I answered before, I don't know what to expect. This is my first experience. I don't know if they're going to cheer or I don't know if they're going to boo, so I really don't have an answer for that.
Who are you most excited to see over there?
Todos mis compañeros sabemos que siempre estuve con mucho ahí, como ellos, Abreu, Rafaela, siempre bastante contento y más cómo le está yendo.
Very happy with all of them. As you know, I'm friends with everything. Rafaela, Abreu, very happy that they're doing really good now.
Rafi, any regrets? If you could do anything over again, would you change anything?
No.
No.
Rafi, after a little bit more than a year now to kind of think about things, how do you feel about yourself as a baseball player? Have you changed?
Muy bien, gracias a Dios, muy bien, he madurado bastante, en un solo año he podido aprender bastante, son cosas que uno no controla, son cosas que van a pasar a los atletas y son cosas que uno tiene que saber manejar.
I feel really good. I think it's been a year. I think I have matured during the year. I think that I have learned. As an athlete, there's things that are going to happen, and what you have to do is just move forward and learn from that.
Is it strange being here without Alex Cora?
¿Tú si te sientes extraño de estar aquí en Boston sin Alex Cora?
No, porque fue también.
No, not at all.
Was it strange walking into this side of the park?
¿Te sentiste extraño entrando del otro lado al estadio?
No, normal, porque ya he visitado otros estadios, se siente raro cuando uno está del lado visitante, pero también uno tiene que entender que esto ya, eso es pasado.
Oh, you have to understand that that's in the past. I mean, I have done it in other stadiums already. It does feel strange coming on the other side, but it's baseball.
Viviste muchos momentos acá, Rafa, uno en particular en este parque que recuerdes ese momento.
Como muy bien lo dijiste, son muchos lindos momentos en este estadio, no te puedes cifrar uno solo, sino dándole las gracias a los fanáticos porque siempre me apoyaron durante el tiempo que estuvieron aquí.
The question was if there was any specific memory coming back to Boston. Rafi answered that there's so many he cannot pinpoint one of them. It's just very happy to be back and very happy to see the fans.
Well, the fans had some things to say there.
What message do you have for the Boston fans? No, just thank you so much for the support you gave me while I was here, and you will always have a place in my heart.
That's cool that they did that video.
That I enjoy the game, and I always give 100%. I always give my best, and that's it. Whatever they want, because I can't control things like that. These are things I don't know how to show. I play very hard, and that I always give 100% for the team. What?
All right, Super Bowl just happened. You a big football fan?
What?
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll save that for a reaction video. Yeah, I'll probably call it there, honestly. I've been on live for... what, roughly basically 3 hours now? Oh, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do the, duh. Forgot the most important one. I gotta go to Twitter in order to get it. Twitter. Oh wait, no, Instagram. Because I guess I can go to here because I know where I can. I know who posted it. I think it got sent, right? Hold on, let me go, I gotta go to Instagram because I'm not seeing it on here. Where was it sent? I think it was sent in here. Oh, it was... Okay. I got it. I got it.
Y si le invitan a salir, dice paso. Ay, ella te bloquea si lo siente. Quítame se siente por si acaso. El amor le dio un cantazo. Y fue la gota que derramó ese vaso. Las solteras están ok. ¿Dónde están que se reporten? Se acabó la relación, no la viva. Se pelea y yo invito. Sale y perrea, sale y perrea, sale y perrea, sale y perrea. Dice, y aunque me tiren el ramo me caso. Por eso sale y perrea, sale y perrea. Muévete y perrea. Sale y limón en un vaso. Tequila pa' que olvide ese payaso. Dembow, pa' la que le dembow. ¿Dónde está la baby? Por favor dímelo flow. Que me están tirando de todos los ariacos. Empezó la carrera encima del Carlito Flaco. Las bocinas en la plaza, que suene la melaza. Se fue la cuarentena, todo el mundo fuera.
Dude, okay. There were so many clips of him and Bogey. I was like, bro, that really got me. Seeing like them two to like together in this video, I was like, Jesus. I was like, this is kind of pain. Well, after Mookie, those two were supposed to be the cornerstones. Those two were supposed to be the cornerstones. Alright, I can hear the claps more here. But there wasn't many. There wasn't as many as I thought there would be on the video. No ovation either. it definitely was different as opposed to Mookie returning and Xander returning. It was definitely much different. Which, again, I was kind of shocked that there wasn't many. Like, even there, like, I'm still thinking, like, that's... Like, even there, like, I was able to hear the cheers there. Originally, I didn't. Originally, I wasn't able to hear him. So, like, now I'm thinking, like, well, that's better. That's better than what his first at-bat was. But still, like... Not what I expected, really. I mean, I should say what I expect. Not what I expected is the wrong phrasing, but I expected more, at least. I thought I expected a little bit more appreciation than what he did get. But did I miss out on the video tribute? I feel like I didn't really miss out on the video tribute because, like, nobody... I mean, again, there were claps, but, like, it wasn't... It wasn't what Betts was. It wasn't, like, Xander's was. Like, it didn't turn out to be like that, you know? Like, people roared for Xander. People roared for Mookie when they first returned. So it's like, well, if that's the case, then the people wanted those two to be the like, I guess the way I view it is, like, the people cared more about those two than they did Devers, which, honestly, I mean, I get it. I kind of do get it. Like, honestly, if I had to pick 2 out of the 3 from those guys, if I had to pick 2 out of the 3, I would pick Mookie and Xander too. I would agree. I would pick Mookie and Xander as my cornerstone pieces of the Red Sox. So I'm going to call it a stream. I'm going to call it a stream. Had the stream start up at 11:30. Been on live for about roughly 3 hours. I mean, I guess what I could, if I really wanted to, like, we could game. But what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna take myself a little so I'm gonna get off for a little bit. Depending on how the rest of the day goes, I could be back on the game later. That's what I think my plan is going to be. So yeah, I'm going to head off. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Again, if I decide to come back on in game later, I'll post it in Discord. I'll post it on my Instagram story. So if I do go back on stream, it'll be gaming, if anything. But glad to be back. Video will be dropping Monday. I do want the Boston vlog to be the first video back. And then we got some reactions to do, and we got a podcast to do, and we got some content coming your way. I have a lot of things that I have to catch up on. So we start the grind back up, and we're on the rise again. We're on the rise again. And my grandfather above will be watching the journey. So that's going to do it for this one. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, you know what to do. And until the next one, it's been your boy Jesse. We'll see ya next time. See you later, guys. Maybe I'll see you guys later on in the game. Have a good one, guys.
Just the other night